Coming up on CityView, meet Emily, emergency responders' latest tool for keeping you safe when those storms roll through Austin. A formal introduction is coming up. Plus, get excited, gardeners, ready to do some planting? We'll tell you how to make sure your soil is ready and safe. And we'll tell you how you can link up with the Waller Creek Conservancy and tell us what ideas you have in mind for nearby Palm Park. Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Marissa Monroy. We have lots of great city news to get to today. We begin with the Asian American Resource Center's third annual Celebrasia Austin Food and Heritage Festival. More than 1,000 people attended the event. Visitors enjoyed an outdoor street bazaar with food and merchandise, culinary demonstrations, cultural performances, Asian country experience rooms, and other family-friendly activities. Celebrasia Austin is the center's signature event, celebrating Asian Pacific American Heritage Month every May.
Growing up here in Austin, if you look at Texas in general, Austin's diversity isn't quite as much as, say, Dallas or Houston, so the chance to bring up my family here and learn about my heritage is actually pretty limited. So I think it's wonderful that Austin has the Asian American Resource Center and have events like that so I can really introduce my kids to the heritage that we grew up with.
Throughout the year, the center offers several programs, including community art exhibits, youth summer camps, senior lunch socials, film screenings, music concerts, and more. Visit austintexas.gov/AARC for additional information. The folks over with the Balcones Canyonlands Conservation Plan, or BCCP, held a celebration of their own for serving the Austin community for the past 20 years. The BCCP is the first regional multi-species habitat conservation plan of its kind in the nation. The preserve contains a cross-section of flora and fauna along the Balcones escarpment of the Edwards Plateau. This area protects 8 endangered species, including the golden-cheeked warbler and the black-capped vireo, as well as 27 species of concern throughout 7 watersheds in western Travis County. The signing of the federal permit in 1996 met the rules of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that allowed for local management of the land set aside for endangered species. From conserving species to conserving our public spaces, the City of Austin, in partnership with the Waller Creek Conservancy, invited members of the community to attend a 3-part public engagement meeting for Palm Park. The goal is to learn and give feedback about the exciting transformation coming to Waller Creek and the historical Palm Park located at 711 East 3rd Street on the I-35 access road.
This really represents a growing trend within the parks and recreation industry whereby municipal entities are partnering with outside organizations, typically conservancies, nonprofit organizations, to address a backlog of deferred maintenance and capital needs within a park system. This is really the kickoff of the process for Palm Park. And today is the visioning, and this is the first series of public meetings, and then we'll be going back to the drawing board and trying to capture the ideas and feedback that we've received today and start to incorporate it into the design, and then we intend to go back out to the community to present back to them what we have heard and how it's been incorporated into the design. We're going to be going through the design process for the next year and a half, and then we're going to be moving into construction with the expectation that we would be complete with the project sometime in 2019.
The Waller Creek Conservancy is a nonprofit and community partner to the City of Austin in the revitalization of Waller Creek and the surrounding district. For those that couldn't attend one of the input meetings, the Waller Creek Conservancy is conducting an online survey to get additional input. To take the survey, visit wallercreek.org. Dozens of nonprofits, stakeholders, and community members working every day to provide access to technology in our community held the first ever Digital Inclusion Day in Austin. Residents had the opportunity to engage with digital inclusion partners throughout Austin and learn more about modern technology. Computer classes, summer youth programs, and free one-on-one guidance using the internet were just a few of the opportunities available to residents.
Well, a lot of Austinites either don't have access to digital technology or they don't know how to use it well. And it's increasingly important both in employment as well as in education that you be able to use those resources. And so it's a real high priority of the City of Austin to make sure that every Austinite in this community has access to digital technology and knows how to use it.
The Day of Digital Inclusion represents a unique opportunity to provide resources and help build digital skills offered by our community partners to residents of Austin. Now out to the Hill Country. Texans gathered in Wimberley for the Kent-Butler Summit. This year's summit began with a presentation on a UT study which addresses threats to water resources, scenic beauty, and cultural heritage in the face of a rapid population growth in the Hill Country. Their presentation laid the foundation for a full day of discussions between regional leaders.
I know from the City of Austin's perspective, we are very willing to share. So gatherings like today's discussion of the Hill Country Studio expands the network of individuals. I met a whole lot of folks here today that I had not met before, and I reestablished acquaintances and friendships with people that I had met before. And that forms the foundation for really good collaborations and robust discussions that would help us to target the direction for Central Texas as a region going forward. And it's pretty inspiring to hear the students from the Community and Regional Planning department from that program. Very smart and fresh vision going forward. It's important to me to know that there are generations coming along behind me who will pick up the reins and take us forward when I move off of this leadership stage.
I think it's really easy for us to sit in Austin, to sit in these corridor areas and say this is what we should do.
It allows me to connect with some people that can provide some help, aid, assistance, ideas, and it also provides a forum in which we can kind of share some of our concerns, and hopefully that people will pick up on and run with them.
To learn more about the summit and to read the UT study, visit kentbutlersummit.org. As the temperatures in Austin warmed this spring, home gardeners started thinking about the many varieties of crops to grow for their families. Before planting, however, Austin's backyard farmers needed to make sure their soil was ready, and more importantly, safe.
We're here at the request of the City of Austin to support their Soil Kitchen event.
This is an opportunity for residents to come out and bring samples of their soil and have it screened for heavy metals such as arsenic or lead or mercury in the soil. The Environmental Protection Agency has brought out their mobile lab from Houston, and they are doing the screening for heavy metals on site.
So we provide support to screen those soils. We process those soils in our lab.
We recently moved into a new home, and I would like to grow edibles and feed my family with what I grow.
We're in particular hoping to get people that are growing food in their gardens.
I have a fear that there's some problem with the soil, because I know that the house was built on it.
And I wanted to make sure the soil didn't have any heavy metals or toxins or anything like that in it before I grew the food.
Last year we didn't find any levels that were above human health standards, but there isn't really any safe level for lead ingestion. So if you have a house that may have had lead-based paint, or even the house that was there before the house that is now, and you had lead-based paint, that ends up in the soil.
I'm just getting my garden beds going, so I have a sample from each bed.
And we're also testing for soil nutrients to give people an idea of how much fertilizer they put in their soil and if they need it. Last year, we found that a lot of people over-fertilize.
And that's a very common problem, given too much love. People tend to do too much fertilizer, too much water.
And that has impacts on the environment. It has negative impacts on plants and certainly on our watersheds. Side front, sorry, and then front yard.
Okay, great. Gardening is a mix of really hard work and real laziness.
We also have master gardeners that are on site to provide useful information if people have questions.
I also asked a bunch of questions about what I should grow and shouldn't grow in Austin, because I'm relatively new to Austin, so that was really helpful.
I would really recommend them take advantage of the city offering this service. It's free, come on out, it's great. There are other soil kitchen events around the country. But the City of Austin has actually gone the extra step.
Absolutely, I think it's hugely valuable. I was really excited when I heard about it because I wanted to make sure that my soil was healthy. So this is a great way to find out. Okay. And it's free.
To find out more about soil kitchens and Austin's Brownfields program, visit austintexas.gov/soilkitchen. Home gardeners may appreciate a little rain, but it's important to know Central Texas has the highest number of flash flooding compared to any other region in the United States. We're serious when we say turn around, don't drown.
Whoa, they're out there. They need to come back in. Faster. Faster.
Emergency responders offered swift water rescue boat rides to the 12 winners of the annual Flood Safety Poster Contest. Unleashing their creative power, these young people illustrated the dangers of low water crossings with the theme, Save Yourself, Turn Around, Don't Drown. In addition to a boat ride, poster contest winners got to meet Emily, the city's newest swift water rescue robot, and see her in action.
Have your other hand, once you put your other hand up here on the throttle.
Emily stands for the Emergency Integrated Life-Saving Lanyard.
Nice job. You guys are really sharp.
Emily is a remote-controlled buoy that can be deployed in swift water conditions to make contact with the victim, provide a life vest, and act as a flotation device until rescuers can reach the person.
In Central Texas, we are prone to flooding, and we continue to have issues with floods. We do feel like that every year, the kids that participate in this program, we're building our army of advocates for Turn Around, Don't Drown, for flood awareness and flood safety. And so that's the biggest win, to continue to engage school children across Central Texas in this all-important information about, hey, we can keep ourselves safe, we just have to make good choices.
75% of flood fatalities are vehicle-related. Since Central Texas has hundreds of roads prone to flooding, it's especially important for children and their families to know about safety at low water crossings. If there's water over the road, turn back and find another route. The City Planning and Zoning Department and the Code Next Advisory Group held a community walk in the Zilker neighborhood. The walk is one of the ways the Code Next team is getting input on what the community wants to see in the new land development code. The topic of this walk was household affordability, and also gave residents an opportunity to see what the land development code looks like on the ground.
It is a code walk and talk. It's an opportunity for the community to come together and look at different housing types and talk specifically about household affordability, which is what we're focused on really over the next couple months. The process we're in right now with Code Next, we're releasing a series of prescription papers. The first one was on the natural environment. The second one, which was just released, is focused on household affordability. The third will be on mobility, and the final one will be on fiscal health. And the idea is to dig down a little bit deeper into each of these issues. These were kind of the issues that rose to the top in our community engagement process. Dig down into each of these issues and figure out how the code can specifically, by rewriting or tweaking the code, how we can specifically address these issues. So we have come up with specific prescriptions. The idea is now the community looks at those prescriptions and reacts to them, provides input, says this is going too far, this isn't going far enough, I don't like this prescription at all.
City staff and members of the Code Next Advisory Group pointed out unique housing types in the neighborhood, including a cooperative living space to stimulate conversation about affordability, density, and neighborhood character. For more information about Code Next or to get involved in future events, visit austintexas.gov/codenext. Lack of funding is often cited as the #1 reason that small businesses fail. The popular ABC television series Shark Tank has introduced the public to the concept of an angel investor. As such, the City of Austin launched the biannual Angel Investor Pitch event aimed at educating small business owners on funding mechanisms outside of traditional lending, including angel investors and crowdfunding. The event features live pitches by Austin small businesses to real Austin investors. This year's spring event was led by Hall Martin, the executive director of the Texas Entrepreneur Network. The winner of the event, as voted on by the audience, was Sarah Sweeney of Truth Aesthetics. Other favorites were the National Skee Ball League and Scoop. To watch more small business videos and get more information on the City of Austin's small business program, visit smallbizaustin.org. That's all for this week's CityView. I'm your host, Marissa Monroy. Our next episode airs June 10th. Thanks for watching.